Well guys, welcome to 2021. I wanted to do my favorites of 2020. You know, my plant journey started March of 2020. Basically, before COVID hit is when it started. My addiction really flourished when I was home and couldn't do anything, but the nurseries were open and I was going haywire. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over my 10 faves, but they're not gonna be any like particular order because I just love them all so much. There are a few that I was waiting on for quite some time, and my boyfriend ended up like doing one of those quick orders and getting it done, purchasing what I wanted. So there's actually two that I have here where that happened. I actually have everything laid out here. You can't quite see. That was just easier for me to grab. There is one plant that I didn't want to fit on here because I already have too much, actually two. So I'm just gonna reach for them when the time's right. But let's get started. This is actually one of my like prized possessions. This is called the Philanthus Mirabilis, also called a dragon wing. Look how freaking cute. Look at that. Why wouldn't you love this? So basically what happens is, so the under leaves are this purpley hue, purplish red. During the day, the leaves are open, and then at night, they actually close up. So once she gets really big and she's super mature, she's gonna look a lot better, but she's so adorable. I honestly love this so much, and she's getting a new leaf growing. So this is in the Cactus family. It has this little base here, which is like a water reservoir, and you don't need to water this too much. I can feel, so we have sphagnum on top. I can feel that the sphagnum is a little damp, not too dry, so she's not quite ready. So that's how I've been gauging it, and she's been doing really well. She was honestly one of my wish list plants for a long time. When we had the opportunity to buy it, we jumped on it right away. There was a few different sizes. When she first started growing, it actually took her a while to start until we put sphagnum on top. So I think it likes the moisture really close to the base. That way it will grow a little more. She had a rough patch. She wasn't growing for a while. We thought like maybe it just needed to acclimate a little longer because the conditions in a nursery are gonna be way different than, you know, your household, right? Once she started to bloom and she had this tiny little like red stem sticking out, and we're like, holy crap, like it's happening. She's so beautiful. Like watching it open and close throughout the day is insane. Like I can't even explain to you how nice it is to just see it across the room, and her leaves are closed and she's like going to bed, you know, she said goodnight. Moving on. If you watched my last video, you know that I talked about a lot of Hoyas. One of the Hoyas that I discussed was my Hoya Nummularioides, and she was growing, she wasn't quite there, the trellis wasn't covered, but guys, so not only is the trellis covered, she's got blooms galore. Like there's blooms everywhere. So actually, so this side bloomed first. So now these are slowly dying off, and this side is filling up. So I kind of wish it bloomed at the same time, so that way the whole thing will be full of flowers. But it's kind of nice that it's like gradually, like she gave me flowers, it's disappeared, and more are appearing, and they smell delicious. Like they smell so floral, and you walk into my room, especially when they're fully blooming, just starting, that's all you smell, and it's divine. Like I love it. So she's got lots of blooms. You can see here. Yeah, so tons of little blooms. So pretty. Hoyas, honestly, they blow my mind. And when they start, let me see if I can show you. So before they actually fully bloom, they start like this, where they start in this little like star puff shape, and then they slowly start to open, and it's just, and now the trellis, guess what, is fully covered. I love her so much. And when she dies off, like all the little flowers, they actually fall off and they close again. But yeah, so sad. But it's okay. She's done me really well. Like when she started blooming, I can't tell you how excited I was. And I actually have, which didn't make my list of top 2020 plants, but I have another Hoya, my Hoya retusa, also just started blooming for me, and they're not like this, they're just single little blooms, but it's so pretty. So my Hoyas are blooming, so it's a huge, like, coming from someone who just started with Hoyas, and I'm obsessed with Hoyas, but never had a bloom, and now they're blooming, like insane, like mind blowing. So this is a huge accomplishment. Then, this is actually so heavy. So I have my string of pearls, but I have it in this like really cool skull pot that I got in a nursery up in King City somewhere. She's so easy. You water her sporadically. You can tell when it needs water when the pearls start to get a little like not so plump, like they get kind of deflated. She's grown so much to the point where I had to just collect everything in the middle and just see what happens. Some of them have actually rooted on their own and then started growing some more. Like, look how gorgeous this is. She actually had a little mealybug problem. Funny enough, my string of pearls and my Hoya pubicalis both got mealybugs at the same time, but it wasn't severe. So because like my boyfriend and I are always checking on the plants, watering them, like we tend to them daily. They don't just kind of live in our space, and you know, we don't forget about them essentially. Because we're always attending to them, we noticed it really early on, so we were able to get rid of it with just a little bit of alcohol on a Q-tip, and you kind of just like catch them and kill them as you see them, and just wipe them off and repeat the process. So it wasn't too bad to get them removed. Since that's happened, which has only happened once with the mealybugs, they haven't come back, thankfully. So, but yeah, how like sick is this? Come on. Like, it's so nice. Okay, so that's my string of pearls. I also have here my old man cacti. Look at him. So cute. Like, I don't know, man. Cacti, like they do something for me too. I think cacti are my new collective obsession. I hate to say it, but if I had more room, I'd be getting all types of cacti. So this one, it's super soft on the outside. You can't push too hard because you actually can feel the spines underneath. But what I've seen, which I haven't done yet because I don't know how I feel about it, I kind of like it looking a little wacky. I've actually seen people on social where they brush the fuzz down and kind of tame it so it's not so wild. But I like the little wild look. Like, his hair is doing whatever it wants. It'd be so nice. And this pot, it fits it perfect. A little contrast, pink with the white and green, you know? All right, my boyfriend made this actually. I did it with him, we did it like together. She just got watered today, so her sphagnum's a little damp, but look at this. Oh my, like I can't even fit it into frame. It's actually like quite large. Look at this. So this is the Staghorn Fern. We mounted it to a piece of wood, and my boyfriend made this little notch here. I forget what this is called, but this is basically a thing you do to mount like a frame or whatever to the wall, and it sits on another piece of wood that has the same edge, and then they fit together. He did it, it looks amazing. Basically, so when we water the Staghorn Fern, we take her to the shower, we spray her down really nice, and then we let her hang. So she's wet right now, but she's not dripping wet, which is good. When she grows, so she has these shields here that she actually replenishes them. So on this side is an old one, and then this is a like super, super, super fresh new one. The Staghorn actually feels a little soft, like it has like a velvety feel when she gets super mature. So right now she's still young, but when she does get mature, these leaves here will actually have a horn looking piece. So right now all her leaves are very round, nothing exciting, but basically, so it would look like the tip of this, but sliced in two, and that's where the name came from. So I have a story for this one. So this is the Alocasia African mask. So nice. So this is, I believe they also call this the elephant ear, but I have a huge Alocasia elephant ear next to me that I won't show because she's too big. So we actually found the bulb of the seed in a different plant that had died. I think it was one of our calatheas. My boyfriend likes calatheas. I'm over them because they die and they're finicky, and I'm over it. So one of them had died. We had taken the soil apart to see the roots, to see what was going on. And then we found this little bulb. So we thought, why don't we just plant it? You never know what's gonna come out of it. So it took us quite a while to figure out while it was growing what it was. And we had like bets going and guessing and the whole bit. But then she turned out to be gorgeous, and I love her. And it was a kind of like a little like happy accident. We love her, but she's very finicky too. So if she's low on water and she needs to be watered, if you don't catch it, like let's say on the meter, if you are using like a water meter, if you don't catch it before it gets to like 1, just about 1, no, like nothing below 1, then it does get little crispy ends, unfortunately. So we've actually done pretty well. I think when we started, we noticed a few crispy ends, but now like all her new leaves are doing very nice. And this one is like gigantic. This is the newest leaf, but so pretty. So we'll do a little swap. This one is also one that was on my wish list for a very, very, very long time. When we wanted to go purchase, it actually sold out in minutes. Like, you know when you go and purchase something online and you're putting in all your information, your address, your email, then you got your credit card information, and then you go and check out and then it tells you that it's sold out. Well, that's what happened the first time. So lesson learned, we decided like, get it done as soon as we see it, purchase it, like don't waste any time. But this is my Booby Cactus. I love her so much. She's literally my favorite thing in the whole wide world. They literally look like hanging boobs, like, but they're small and perfect, and this is all you need, fellas. Look at this, it's perfect. So pretty, so freaking pretty. So this one actually has a special place in my heart. This is my marble pothos. She's very long. I don't want to get her tangled, but look, hold on. Yeah, she's very long. There you go. Now you can see everything. This is probably one of the easiest plants I've had. You don't have to do anything really besides water when she needs. But she's so easy. Like she doesn't need like a lot of light. I have her placed above my bed, and the light isn't, she gets a little bit of grow light over her, but not too much, especially, you know, because she's so long, she's not getting the grow light to the ends as well. She's just doing amazing. She's always putting out new leaves, like legitimately constantly. And she's just so pretty. So when I was actually given the cuttings, because she wasn't getting enough light, because where the original plant was placed was over the fireplace mantle. There was a window next to the plant, but the blinds were always closed. So she didn't get a lot of light. So her leaves were like this for the most part. Now that she's gotten a lot of light, you can see the difference where her variegation is like really coming out. See? It's just so easy to take care of, maintain. Stick it back on the side. Okay, so this big boy here.
A few moments later.
Look. So this is a blue candle cactus. When we went to the nursery, we saw so many that were grown and had like the little arms ready, and like, you know, like the typical, like the cactus emoji, right? So we saw a few that were like that, but they weren't rooted and they weren't ready to be sold and given. So I have a lot of hope for her, because with her being here and the setup that we have and the lights that we have, I really think she'll be okay. And, you know, hopefully she will grow some little arms and she'll be super cute. With this cacti, you have to be quite careful with touching it, because it has this little film on the cacti itself. And when you touch it, so that we bought it like this. I don't know if you can see, but there's a nice fingerprint right there. So someone decided to be like, ooh, and touch it. But this was the nicest one we saw. So I was like, you know what? This is the one I want. I love it. And from here, actually, this is a perfect angle. You can see from where it grew. So this right here is the little V's you see. This is where it was growing when it was in the nursery. I don't think that when it grows, even if you have like the best lighting and grow lights and the whole bit, I don't think you'll get the same growth as you do in the nursery. Also because like their climate where they have all the cacti is like Arizona. She was also one of my like My pride and joy. I haven't watered her since I bought her. I've been waiting to repot her, but I think because there's not a lot of sun right now and it's a little cooler, she sits, you know, kind of close to the window. She's holding on to a lot of water because every time I check with my little water meter, she isn't quite ready to be repotted. So I'm holding off until she is 100% ready to be repotted. When she is, then I'm gonna put her in a nice big terracotta pot, and then she'll look a lot better because she kind of, I hate, like the terracotta that I have is big, like it's actually quite large, but it doesn't fit this nursery pot. So I wanna get rid of this and put it in that, and I think it'll do a lot better. So yeah, that's this guy. Last, but certainly not least, come on, like, look at her. She's gorgeous, she's perfect, like absolutely perfect. So this is the Florida Ghost. We created a moss pole for her so she could grow. When we bought it, it only had these leaves on the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and they were all already green. So when they grow, so the reason why they're called the Florida Ghost is because when they grow first super white, like I'm talking white like paper. So super white, and then as they mature, they go green. But like, I can't, look at that. I don't know, this plant just does something for me. So because we have the moss pole, it attaches itself to it, which then makes the leaves actually grow a lot larger because it feels like it has support. Please also mind the moss pole because I water it. Actually, my boyfriend waters this one most of the time. Actually, all the time, I'm lying. When he waters it through the moss pole down and then gives it a nice little drizzle on top of the soil. Because there's so many roots in the moss pole, we have to water the moss pole first. So there is quite a bit of, you know, that fun mold you get, which attracts the fun old gnats around, but that's a different story. So on the pole, you can see the roots are, the roots are all inside, looping around. Because she's already grown so much, she's already almost at the top. Like there's maybe like an inch left before she reaches the top, which means we either have to untangle this and make a new moss pole or somehow extend this moss pole. I don't know, but if we do have to untangle it, that's gonna be fun because she is really wrapped up in there, like severely wrapped up, but she's so pretty. Enough of that. All right, plant peeps, well, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one.